Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
Yes, he is.
And don't forget, if you want to listen to the news when you're out and about on the go, maybe having a little bit of the bubbly, you can download it as a podcast by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Coming up today, though, Adam Cleary, what have we got?
Well, Diamonds are forever, and apparently so is Starrcast.
The King of the Ring semi-finalists have been revealed.
We finally know who pushed the crate on Roman Reigns.
And a huge free agent could be making a decision between AEW and WWE.
But never mind all that. This
is the news.
I'm still new at this. Yeah, sorry, like, the reason why I'm doing this and I still don't know quite where all the cues go is because we don't know where Andy is.
No.
It's a bit odd, really. We sort of assumed he'd be back, so we didn't really think it was worth addressing.
We haven't seen him since Saturday, basically.
No, we were watching All Out. Yeah, you were doing that actually. We were watching All Out. The main event finished, and he was just like, don't know about you boys, but I fancy a steak, and then got up and left.
No idea.
If you've seen him, do let us know where he is. We miss you, Andy. We are starting to grow concerned. But anyway, the biggest news in wrestling today and probably this week, and maybe even the highest banter concept of the last 5 or 6 years, is that immediately after winning the AEW World Championship, becoming its first ever heavyweight champion, Chris Jericho has lost the title belt.
Not the way you think.
Not the way you think. He hasn't lost.
Pinfall of submission.
R-Truth hasn't rolled him up on an airport or anything like that. It has been stolen from his possession on night one. I'm going to read to you here the statement from the Florida police, all right? The victim reported the theft of his championship wrestling belt when he was eating inside Longhorn Steakhouse. The report says the victim stated he arrived at the Millionaire Club Airport terminal and placed the belt inside his rented limousine. The limo driver shuttled the victim to Longhorn for dinner. The victim remained at Longhorn while the limo driver returned to the airport. The victim had taken the wrong luggage from the airport and the driver took it back to the terminal. When the driver picked up the victim from the restaurant, the belt was missing. Responding officers searched the limo and airport for the belt without success. On-call CID was consulted and forensics responded to the scene. Chris Jericho has lost the AEW World Championship. This is... Where do you even start with this?
Well, maybe you start with that amazing video of him in the hot tub enjoying a little bit of the bubbly, where he announces he's going to...
Right, sorry, you're going to have to stop doing this little bit of the bubbly guy, because we have a tiny little bottle of champagne in the office here, and I was like, do you want me to drink that on the news? And you were like, absolutely not, unprofessional.
Yeah. Maybe this afternoon.
We'll have a little bit of the bubbly.
Well, he has announced in an amazing video shared by him and All Elite Wrestling that he is going to launch a worldwide investigation for it.
Yeah. Well, it got lost in an airport. It could be anywhere by now.
Amazing.
Obviously, you know I run my own detective agency, don't you?
Yes.
Lawson, Paranormal Detective Agency.
Go on.
He hasn't got in touch with me yet, but Chris, if you're watching this, and we know you are, do get in touch. My rates are reasonable.
We have got a bit of a WhatCulture exclusive, though, haven't we?
Yes, we do actually have a bit of a WhatCulture exclusive. Obviously, with the spare time we had this morning, in fact, we're on a different time zone to the American Dirt Sheets reporting this. We have been on to the Florida police, and they have already obtained an e-fit sketch of a potential suspect. We don't know whether you've seen with the limo or the airport, but it is somebody who is of interest. Can we bring that up now?
Yep, there we go.
Yep, so I don't know if you're watching this in Florida and you've seen anybody matching that description at either, I guess, Starrcast or the show or around the steakhouse, anything like that.
Looking suspicious.
Yes, anybody like that, anywhere near the venue, please do let the Florida authorities know.
Is this a work?
Well, this is the thing, right? It smacked of a work initially, and then when I saw the Jericho sketch, I was like, they're doing a bit here. But literally absolutely everywhere. Places who have good relationships with AEW and places that don't have good relationships with AEW are reporting that this is not a work. You literally cannot get a phony police report like that filed. It's legitimately happened. And to be fair, if it was a work, you wouldn't do it like, it was in my bag, it was in the limo. You would do it like it was just stolen from me, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was snatched from my table or something.
Yeah, it's just, he's literally gone and lost it. And fair play from styling it out with the hot tub video, because if that was me, I'd be like, what have I done? I would fake a mugging. I would genuinely, if this happened to me, I would get you to knock the piss out of me, right? So I've been attacked.
It was just one of those things last night when Phil sent it in our WhatsApp group of just the Sean Ross Sapp message going,
you're not gonna, what a time to be alive, I think his message was.
What? Incredible, this.
Yeah. So we'll keep you updated on this as and when we can. And again, Chris.
Let's move on, though, and talk about the events of SmackDown Live last night. Yes, we have numerous new 24/7 champions. R-Truth has got the belt right now. That's all you really need to know. And we saw who made the semi-finals from the SmackDown side of the King of the Ring tournament.
Caught me out, this.
Yeah.
Really caught me out. I would literally have gone Ali and Andrade.
Yeah, we got it
Comfortably.
completely backwards. Elias and Chad Gable won their respective matches. They will face off against each other to see who faces the winner of the triple threat match between Baron Corbin, Samoa Joe, and Ricochet at MSG next week, of course, to win the King of the Ring tournament. Yeah, I speculated on a podcast last week that this could be some sort of redemption arc for Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I think generally everyone thought, yeah, have Ali versus Andrade. You'll have an absolute banger in MSG as well.
Yeah.
But no, polar opposite. Elias defeated Ali and Chad Gable to a huge pop.
I'm just going to say it. I think Chad Gable's my shout for this now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth putting him over the people they've put him over if they're not going to have him win ultimately.
Or heartbreak in the final against King Corbin.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not even doing a bit here. You can't put him in the final against Corbin and lose, and it'd be such a valiant underdog effort. Corbin, I hate the way we can't swear on this, houses his way to the win. Like, that still puts him over,
Yeah.
I think. But I think genuinely he's got to be considered one of the main people for it now.
Yeah, it's so weird the way they're pushing it. On the one hand, they're like giving him these victories and a great performance against Andrade last night. But also they spent the rest of the show going, "You're small, aren't you? Aren't you small?" And him not reacting by being like, "I'll show you." He just, as I always say, reacted like a sad puppy, just like, "Oh, I wish I was really tall."
That's literally what I do. Literally what I do when I have to do any video with you. Look, you're really tall. That wasn't the only major revelation on SmackDown last night, was it?
No.
In fact, some would even say it wasn't even the most interesting revelation on SmackDown last night, was it?
No.
No, we finally, after they really started making a big deal of this who pushed the crates over on Roman story. Then they kind of gave up on it for a bit. Then they kind of revived it for some high banter segment where Roman had a lookalike. And then they gave up on it again. And then it's back now and it's finished. And we now know what happened. And I have no idea whether Eric Rowan's a face or a heel.
Yeah, so he obviously there was footage last week which, to be honest, wasn't that conclusive. Could have still been that lookalike of his, but apparently that was enough for Roman Reigns to spear Daniel Bryan out of his bloody shoes. But instead, Daniel Bryan came down to the ring.
He demands it's just such a weird segment. He demands an apology
from
right?
Roman for spearing him because he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and then Rowan attacks Roman and then beats him up, but then puts Bryan through a table at the end. So he's done the heel stuff on Roman, but technically that's a face turn with Bryan because Bryan's a heel and he beat him up. But he's working Roman at Clash of Champions, so he's the heel in that match, but the face in the feud.
I don't know whether they're turning Bryan face or what. But also, my favourite part of all this, which I saw someone pointing out on Twitter, what was the big thing that he said? He said, "You slapped me in my face. No one slaps me in my face." What happened the entire time he was in the Bludgeon Brothers? He got slapped in the face. Yeah. I mean, granted that
Harp used to slap him in the face.
That hyped him
maybe
up.
Maybe that's his thing. Maybe that's why he left that. He's like,
his kink.
You're the one. It's like you were getting your hair touched. Like you can't touch it.
You touch my hair. You just don't touch me. Don't hit me on the back of the head. Oh.
Everyone's got a weird thing. Mine's being called Clegg, but I never let on with about that.
Okay.
Oh God, I've said that commenting on a few other. Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one this now. We don't know whether he's face or heel, but he is going to be working Roman at Clash of Champions. The only non-title match, if you count the King of the Ring stuff as a title.
Yeah.
Bit of an odd one, and nice to finally get a resolution to this story, but why would you miss out the Bryan thing?
I presume they're just going to do the whole bloody Rikishi thing with being like, actually, I was behind the whole thing.
Someone has suggested, that Bryan could be part of all this, but he got put through that table pretty vigorously for a man with concussion issues and innocent in all of this. Yeah. It's a bit of an odd one. I don't know what they're doing, but hey, at least they've done something. And that's probably the most level of praise you can normally give WWE.
At least they've done something.
At least they've done something.
More on that on our SmackDown review later on today, so we can check that out on WhatCulture Wrestling's podcasts.
Yeah, wherever you get your podcast from.
And we will talk now about Marty Scurll, who is set to be a free agent this November, as reported by Sports Illustrated. Now, it's been reported for a while that he was going to be, finishing up in Ring of Honor, of course. That's the main reason why a lot of people speculate why he lost the title in the G1 Supercard match, of course, against Matt Taven and Jay Lethal. But now, yeah, it is anticipated that he will leave Ring of Honor, or at least be a free agent, in November, and speculation is rife as to where he will head. Obviously, WWE is one option, but the most obvious one has to be AEW.
It's very much down the middle list because WWE have been after him for a long time. They really, really, really like Marty Scurll. Will no doubt give him a fantastic offer to go there. But at the same time, obviously he was part of the Bullet Club in New Japan with his best pals who now are in AEW. He's constantly still referenced on being in the elite. I think he's even still in the title card as being the elite.
Thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
they obviously. I would be very surprised if he's not at least had talks with his literal best friends about going to work for their wrestling company. But the allure of WWE and maybe them having a man on the inside might be interesting.
It is very intriguing, this, because on the one hand, if they weren't part of AEW, it'd still be intriguing and fun to be like, let's go and work in my own little wrestling promotion with my mates. But also, it's financed by a billionaire.
Yeah, I think whatever offer he's going to get from WWE, he's not going to be worried that AEW won't make him something. It's at least competitive with that, if not better. I actually think AEW really need Marty Scurll. I think they've got a genuine lack of a terrific on-microphone, just weaselly heel. Now, I know they've got MJF, but the way they're presenting him sort of in the middle, and he's so likeable as a heel, doesn't quite kind of... I know there are. Jericho's fantastic at it. They've got a few people who can do that role, but it's just... Jericho's Jericho, and I just think somewhere in the middle of that pack, someone who would feel like their guy, they really, really need Marty Scurll for that. Again, and people are like, what about doing though? But genuinely, I think he would really, really benefit AEW, a lot more than he'd benefit WWE.
Yeah, we've worked with him obviously in the past. He's a phenomenally talented guy. And like you say,
carries his own bags.
Does he?
Which for a guy who was champion, a guy who was coming in with massive, the guy carried all his own, that's not a metaphor, carried all his own bags, which genuinely, fair play to him. Nice man.
But let us know in the comment section below where you'd like to see Marty Scurll end up when he finishes up with Ring of Honor in November.
Get everything over as well.
Yes.
You're dead. How's that over? You're dead. How's that over? How's that over?
I don't know.
Super kick, just kidding. How's that over? And he gets it. Chicken wing. How's that over? He gets everything over. That haircut, an umbrella, a plague mask.
Yeah.
The guy gets everything over. Get him in AEW now.
Indeed. Should we talk about Starrcast?
Yes. Oh yes, that's the last, or is it? Yes.
IV,
of course, they've got, this is the line, if you think I had a really witty thing at the start about diamonds being forever and so is Starrcast, that's not me. That's not me at all. That's how they announced it. Diamonds are forever and so is Starrcast. Join us in Baltimore, November the 7th and the 10th for Starrcast number 4. This is, of course, to go along with AEW's next major pay-per-view. And I can't believe it's called this Full Gear. Now, I was watching a documentary on the movie Snatch yesterday because we were doing part of it for our Talking Heads video on the film channel, so you should go give that a watch. And they were saying, oh, it's dead funny because in Britain, snatch means to take something, to steal it, to grab it, whereas over in America it means something a little bit different, if you know what I'm saying. Full gear in the UK means something very different to what it means in America, doesn't it? It means something very, very different. Now, I'm not going to go into what it means, but if you know, you know. So yes, that's nice. They're going to do another Starrcast for the next big show. A few people have said in the comments of this, oh, you should have waited till next year. People are going to get burnt out on all these meet and greets. But are they November?
No.
Different city? Probably entirely different crowd, different people on the card? I can't see how that'll happen.
I think I'm inclined to agree that if they just consistently did it loads and loads and loads, but there's sufficient gaps between it. Look, if you can't travel across the country, if that's closer to you, Baltimore, isn't it?
Baltimore,
if Baltimore's closer to you, then that makes it better. So surely you'd like to have, there's still going to be some people who go to pretty much every single event, but they had the odd special stars that only show up for that. And also, they get different events to put on, and it's like we've been. It's great fun.
It's fantastic.
I'd go every weekend.
Yeah, Conrad, if you watch it. What I will say is, let's say 20% of the crowd at Full Gear were at All Out. It's just a complete number out of my arse, right? 20%. To that other 80% who weren't at All Out, that's huge to them. They're going to get to meet so many people. They're going to see so many cool talks, so many cool events. Yes, I can understand the logic that you shouldn't do it all the time because people won't want to go to it. But genuinely, to the people who weren't at All Out, it will be a massive, massive deal for them.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll only be, the third one this year. So it's not like they've done a lot. But exciting times. Looking forward to Full Gear.
I bet you are. Weekend's coming in it. So.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WW, of course, if you want to get in touch. We start with Uesugi Kenshin, a regular contributor, who says, is Chad Gable the new Daniel Bryan?
No, absolutely not. I don't think he's got the fan support behind him yet. I don't quite think he's got his character as well down as Daniel Bryan did at this stage of the whole Daniel Bryan thing. But there's no reason why they can't push him in a similar way, because if he's going to be underappreciated, underutilized, kind of taken the piss out of by management to a certain extent, certainly in terms of the way they book him and the kind of matches they give him, and they give him a little taste of, well, you get him to the final of King of the Ring and he loses to Corbin and it's because he's a B-plus player, then it's very much, echoing the Daniel Bryan route. He's certainly a good enough worker.
Yeah, it was, the match against Shelton Benjamin, the crowd was kind of dead for it, but for this one against Andrade, huge reaction.
A really good match as well.
Yeah, and a great match.
The problem with this King of the Ring tournament, right, I am enjoying all of the matches in it. Really enjoyed all the matches in it. I love tournaments. I love when you get unlikely matchups and surprising combinations of wrestlers who give you really interesting, different, unique matches. I love all that, but it's going to end at Clash of Champions. I'm going to be like, here we are, back to the same people going 50-50 all the time on television. They should do more of these tournaments. They should make them bigger in scope. They should give people more opportunities to do these kind of things. It's just another one of these little tasters when WWE reminds you of just how much talent it has on its card, because everybody in that tournament deserves to be getting that kind of spotlight, and they've all made a really, really good fist of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thought I'd run out of road there with that sentence, but fist of it.
Fist, I like it.
They made a really good. Hang on, if I do that close enough, it'll sort of look like it's the right size next to you. There you go.
There we go. Ooh. Right, let's move on to our second question. Second question today, which comes from Slutty Murphy.
To Mr. and Mrs. Murphy, a son. Slutty. Or girl, I don't know.
No, son, you're right. If Sammy will be in Shinsuke's corner for Clash of Champions, do you think Miz will have Kevin Owens in his corner, especially with their recent Shane feuds? They might find common ground.
No, I think Maurice. There you go.
That would make a lot of sense.
Next question.
Final question today.
Actually, no, look, this is the thing, right? Again, as we said with this King of the Ring tournament, Miz versus Nakamura is an unlikely matchup between two people you've never seen together, but again, who are immensely talented and will no doubt have a very original, different match. I'm very, very excited to see it. Don't make that an extension of another Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn feud, please.
Yes, absolutely. And I get it. You want to put the title on Miz so you can destroy all history of Chris Jericho and your organisation. But the Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura stuff is great. It's really annoying, him shouting last night as Shinsuke destroyed some jobber saying, "This is my favourite bit! This is my favourite bit!" Really annoying, but the right level of annoying. Yeah. Just don't take the title off him just for the sake of saying, "Ooh, look, it looks like The Miz is the only IC title guy you need to ever think about."
But the thing is, right, think about this. No matter what direction they're going in, you're going to end up with Nakamura, Miz, and Zayn all kind of floating around the same storyline. Three incredibly different, immensely entertaining workers who we haven't seen in feuds before together. I know and someone's going to point out that Nakamura's first match in NXT was against Sami Zayn. I remember that. I'm not an idiot. But that was a one-off match. And it was
not
fantastic.
a consistent feud.
And the vast majority of people who watch the main roster haven't seen it. No, exactly. So there you go.
Final question today comes from Zubair, who says, everyone has spoken about the wrestlers in detail in AEW, especially the EVPs, but how do you think Tony Khan has done so far?
Genuinely, I think he's been excellent. He's been the right level of involved. He's come out, he's done all the press stuff, he's addressed issues when they need to be addressed. He's addressed the criticism when it's needed to be addressed. I thought what he said about the chair shot stuff was absolutely excellent. The temptation would be, if you're Tony Khan and you're a lifelong wrestling fan and you're young and you are effectively bankrolling a huge promotion, the temptation would be, as it is for literally every single person who books a wrestling promotion, to be involved in it on screen in some way. But so far, everybody knows who he is because he's involved in the right level, the business side of things. He does all the press conferences. He's not afraid to speak to journalists. We've got a fantastic interview with him. Phil managed to get in the mixed area of All Out, of Double or Nothing, sorry. And genuinely, I can't commend him enough for the way he's handled himself, the way he's managed the promotion. Because, God, I'm not even. If I was Tony Khan, I'd have been in the main event by now. I'd have been in somebody's corner. I'd have done something dramatic in the ring, because that's kind of what everybody wants to do.
Or he'd brought out the belt, wouldn't he? He wouldn't have had Bret Hart. It'd been, it's me.
That's
showing
the thing.
You the
like
belt.
Literally, even the little things where it would be dead easy to have him unveil the belt because it's his belt and his promotion. But no, he wants Bret Hart to do it because he knows that's a bigger deal to the fans. He knows that to people who are watching and are paying their money, he's not what they're there for. You know what I mean? He's making it, and he's going to surely get his dues over time. I would imagine they'll involve him in some capacity, purely because
they'll bleed into it, right?
Yeah, I imagine at some point the Bucks will want to do something with him just because it's Tony, you know what I mean? But like, he's not forcing himself in there, and he's not doing it immediately, which means they're addressing one of the biggest concerns in WWE, which is too many authority figures and too much McMahons.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tony Khan. You're the best.
Let's move on to today's and finally, and I'm not sure if you saw this yesterday on Twitter, but isn't it great when you find out someone you like or just a random celebrity is a fan of wrestling. Someone you wouldn't expect, let's just say.
I haven't seen this.
No, okay. So, of course...
Nothing's coming to mind here.
NXT UK TakeOver took place this weekend, and there was a celebrity in the crowd you may not expect who is now a huge fan of Cesaro. He said, "Cesaro is my new religion." Dude spun his opponent for like a minute straight. And that man is Lin-Manuel Miranda, the guy behind Hamilton. Just massive Cesaro fan now.
Wow!
And they had a lovely back and forth with Cesaro saying, "Hey man, I'm a huge fan of yours as well." I just thought it was lovely.
That is lovely. Aww.
Make a musical about wrestling.
Make a musical about Cesaro. But don't, and I'm serious here, do not have him yodel. It's not singing!
Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section.
Or better, yeah, if you're a celebrity and you like WhatCulture, let's do some stuff on...
Yeah!
Tell us you like us.
Yeah, just let us know in the comments.
Please. Please.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling for daily wrestling podcasts too. And you can follow us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. That's where you need to send your Twitter questions to. You can follow him at
Adam Cleary, Clery. And again, if you are a minor celebrity, please do let me know.
Yes, you can follow me at Adam Wilborn. If you're a minor celebrity, my DMs are open. And if you know the whereabouts of Andy Murray, please get in touch.
All joking aside, if you do know where Andy is, please let us know.
Right, this has been the news. My thanks, Adam Cleary. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Wait, go back to back. News!